Latinos for Trump is such an embarrassment.
I want to send a message to the president. If the Venezuelan Americans voted for you in large numbers, they did so to remove criminals. Venezuelan Americans did not vote for you to criminalize the majority of the Venezuelans.
Venezuelans, law-abiding people, families, workers, neighbors, have had their legal status ripped away.
I'm sad. Very sad. We lost what we consider protection from ever being deported. We felt protected having TPS. We had a work permit, social security. We could buy a house and more, Serie de Arte.
We have people who are working with papers, who are paying taxes. When we lose those workers, who are going to fill their jobs?
What is going to happen with the restaurants, with Amazon delivery, with Lyft, with Uber, with everything that Venezuelans do here?
Venezuelans feel that their only hope of Venezuela ever becoming a free country again go through the hands of Donald Trump.
I mean, this is ridiculous.
So I'm in Chicago, and I spoke to a restaurant owner in a predominantly Latino part of the city who told me the losses his business is seeing right now because of his climate of fear, as he described to me, feels like another pandemic. Take a listen to how he described it.
You typically see 65 to 70 on a Saturday, and you saw 17.
17 orders, and we usually, we stay open till 4. We never close early.
Yeah.
But we had no other option this Saturday to close at 2 o'clock. It was ghost town. I'm telling you, it's like a pandemic coming all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what it feels like.
The fact that 60% of male Latino voters all voted for Trump still boggles my mind. Most of these voters are birthright citizens, as in mom and dad crossed the border, came here, gave birth to your stanky ass, and you still had the audacity to vote for him, despite the fact that he has promised mass deportations the second that he gets into that office. Oh, he's just the president. He can't do all that, right? Bro, did y'all forget the Supreme Court literally gave this man presidential immunity a couple months ago, as in he can do whatever the fuck he wants as long as he's in a position of power? Did we really just forget about all that? So if you voted for Trump and the government finds out that your parents are here illegally, you better start packing up their bags right away. And you better be truthful to them as to the reason as to why they have to go back to their country. I hope throwing your immigrant families under the bus for an extra $80 in your paycheck is all worth it in the end.
Activist Helen Villalonga begged for compassion.
¿Qué le hicimos, Donald Trump?
What did we do to you, Donald Trump, to deserve this? Many of my people believed in you.
I'm worried because of the situation that me, my dad, and my mom have where we don't have papers yet.
Javier, did you support Donald Trump?
Sí, yo hubiese tenido ciudadanía.
If I was a U.S. citizen, I would have voted for Donald Trump.
Many Latino voters, especially those who proudly call themselves Latinos for Trump, are now facing the very system they once cheered for. When Trump was campaigning, he promised mass deportation, stricter immigration laws, and tougher border control. Back then, a number of Latino supporters thought those words didn't apply to them. They believed they were the good immigrants, or that Trump was only talking about someone else, maybe undocumented people from Central America or those crossing the border recently. But now reality is knocking, and it's not knocking softly. Across different parts of America, many Latinos who once supported Trump are now in tears. Deportation rates have increased again, and ICE agents are showing up in places people least expect. Restaurants, stores, car repair shops, and even churches. The fear has spread so deep that even those who are legally in the country feel unsafe. Some of their own businesses are collapsing because customers are too scared to show up. People don't want to risk being in the wrong place at the wrong time because these raids don't always check papers politely before dragging folks away. Hi guys, welcome back again to the YouTube channel. It's so good to have you. Thank you so much for clicking when you saw this video. So I have that clip for you guys, which I'm just going to let roll. Then I'll come back with the commentary. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. Do what to like and subscribe, and credit to all creators on this video. Let's go watch, then I'll come back with more.
I'm sure you have seen the videos of the ICE raids, people's families destroyed, children crying, families ripped apart. I'm going to say this again. It was never about deporting criminals. It was always about getting rid of us, getting rid of people who are Latinos, who look Latino, who speak English, who speak Spanish, who are born here, who are naturalized. It never fucking mattered because people who are citizens are getting detained. If you are a Trump supporter at this point, this is what you voted for. I have a specific message for Ileana Garcia, the co-founder of Latinas for Trump. She now regrets and condemns Trump for his deportation, for the mass deportations. I find it interesting that now, when your select group of people, your direct, family or loved ones are getting, affected by this, now you care. But this was always the agenda. This was always the agenda. This was always the plan. Your proximity to whiteness is not going to save you.
I feel like the past 24 hours has just been a complete nightmare. 104% on imports coming from China. 104%. And that means my small business that I put everything into is fucking done. I quit my corporate job about a year and a half ago to chase my dreams. I designed and launched a kids fitness brand, and it was going great. I paid fair wages. I built relationships. And then overnight, the cost just more than doubled. My margins were gone. You know, my business doesn't pay for a yacht or a private jet. It pays for our daughter's swim classes. It covers groceries. It helps with babysitters for date nights. This isn't just numbers on a policy sheet. It's real people, real jobs, real families. And now I'm back at square one. So wish me luck.
If you're looking for some good news right now, a lot of MAGA supporters are having their wives deported. If you don't know, there's a pretty common trend among some MAGA men that they marry women from other countries. You might have heard the term passport bro. Could be a country in Europe or Asia, but overall they are getting wives from other countries because American women don't like them. I've heard of multiple reports, specifically in Fresno, California, which is a pretty conservative agricultural town where I happen to have been born, that people there are being deported. One of these couples, the wife is from France, and her 87-year-old mother is living here as well. They're both being deported despite the red MAGA hats they wear outside every single day. This has been happening a lot in California, Texas, and Florida among MAGA couples. And of course, they never thought that it was going to happen to them because they only thought it would happen to black and brown immigrants. But yes, they are actively being taken out of the country, sobbing with their red MAGA hats on. And that's the thing about this administration. They do not give a fuck about tearing families apart, even people that have been good citizens. And I do really feel for the poor grandmother who's almost 90 years old that's going to have to start a new life. But at least some of these people are learning what happens when you vote for an authoritarian because they do not care about you individually, even if you're white.
Imagine supporting a politician who promised to clean up your community, only to realize you're part of the community he planned to clean out. That's what's happening right now to many Latinos. Many of them who believe Trump's message about making America great again meant more opportunities, better jobs, and safer neighborhoods. But what they didn't realize was that his definition of great didn't include them. It was always about tightening control, building walls, and keeping America white and exclusive, not about welcoming diversity or helping immigrants thrive. Now, some of those same Latinos are posting emotional videos online, crying that their friends and relatives are being detained and deported. Others are saying that small businesses, the taco shop, grocery stores, and landscaping companies they work hard to build are now empty. Customers have vanished because nobody wants to risk their being seen in an immigration raid, as eyes might just show up. Fear has turned once lively neighborhood into ghost towns. The same truth is that many of these people didn't think this day would come. They bought into the illusion that aligning with Trump would somehow protect them, make them seem different from other immigrants. They believed that by voting Republican, they would be, they could escape the stereotype or avoid the target. But immigration policies under Trump never had a Latino exception. They were always built on fear, division, and racial profiling. ICE doesn't care who you voted for. They only care about papers and quotas. It's heartbreaking, but also eye-opening. For years, people tried to warn these voters. Black and brown activists said over and over again, don't let hate blind you. They warn that, the same system that targets one minority will eventually come for others. But instead of listening, many brushed it off, claiming they were the legal ones or saying things like, we came the right way. Now they are realizing that Trump's base, all brown skin looks the same when it comes to deportation. And what makes it worse is that the fear is not just about being deported, it's about losing trust, community, and livelihood. Imagine running a restaurant that once had a line out the line out the door now is empty, not because your food is bad, but because people are too afraid of ICE agents showing up while they are eating, right? Imagine a neighborhood market where people used to shop freely, now silent because even undocumented and documented immigrants are avoiding public places. That's the current reality for many Latino communities that once believed in Trump's promises. The irony is hard to ignore. These are people who once said things like, build a wall or we need stronger borders. Now some of their family members are on the other side of that wall, unable to come back. They shouted about law and order, but now they are the ones facing the cold reality of the same law and order system that doesn't discriminate between one brown person and the other. This situation shows the danger of political blindness. When people vote based on emotion or party loyalty, this is exactly what they get, right? Rather than real policy impact. Many Latinos for Trump were drawn in by conservative values, by religion, or by economic promises, but they overlooked how deeply an anti-immigrant Trump movement always was. It wasn't about values of faith. It was about power and exclusion. Now, some of these supporters are learning the hard way. These businesses are suffering, their neighborhoods are tense, and their families are being torn apart. The same system that helped empower or that they help empower is now destroying their peace of mind. The same man they cheered for is now nowhere to be found when ICE knocks on their door. It's a painful lesson about loyalty and misplaced trust. Right? America has a long history of using minority groups when convenient, then turning its back on them when they are no longer useful. The Latinos for Trump wave was used to show diversity on the campaign trail, but when the time came to enforce policies, those same faces became numbers on deportation reports. In the end, this is more than just politics. It's a story about identity, fear, and awakening. Some Latinos who once shouted MAGA are now whispering prayers, holding ICE keeps, hoping that ICE keeps their neighborhood tonight. Others are realizing that solidarity matters, that instead of dividing along party lines, communities of color must stand together, because when a system is built on targeting one group, it will eventually turn on anyone who looks like them. And sadly, for many Latinos who supported Trump, that realization came too late for a lot of them. And now they are freaking out on the internet. And that's why you have so many of them regretting their vote and regretting that they came out to vote in the first place, right? Well, guys, I would love to hear your own take in the comment section. What do you think about Latinos for Trump? Some businesses shutting down, some of them not making money like they used to before because people are scared of coming out. And of course, people have also been deported. They do not have workforce, anymore like they used to have. And people are just so scared to even come to the line to eat their food anymore, especially for restaurants. Let me know what your own take are in the comment. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up so that more people can see it. Credit to all creators on this video. I look forward to seeing you all on my next. So go ahead, like, share, subscribe, and see you all next time. Bye, guys.